Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. This is part 2 of a 2-part show with several local women who recently returned home from a missions trip to Central America. Welcome to the show. And I'm going to let you introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Dina Dicena, and I'm from the Morgan Church.
I'm Tamara Perry from the Morgan Church. I live in Morgan.
I'm Tara Selby from the Morgan Church as well. I live in Morgan.
Jeanette Birch. I am a member of the Morgan Church as well, and I live in West Clover.
I'm Wendy Bronson, also from Morgan, and I go to the Morgan Church.
Now, we covered it in part 1. We covered the mission, a bit of it, but can one of you give just a brief update on the mission, just for those who didn't watch part 1?
We went to Guatemala. We visited children's home and 2 orphanages we visited. Went to one home, was basically a hospital for children with HIV. We visited there. And then we did the children's homes in outlying villages. We delivered food to families. Several of the home places we visit, just to bring some fun. We also bring piñatas and cake and treats to give a little fun for the kids, a little break. We also did a dental clinic. We brought toothbrushes, toothpaste, and they had like 4-eye tablets to teach the kids how to clean their teeth better. We brought the basic medicine, aspirin and such like that. We delivered clothing for elder care and also to the orphanages. We visited further our long 8-hour trip day. We went to Monjas, where we visited a children's home there that Dina explained earlier. They have several ministries there. They have well over 100 children, and they are divided into homes where each home has an actual mom and dad to give them more of a home-like experience. They also work with pregnant teens and widows. We've also, we went into the community and delivered food to local homes. We pray, we attended a church service where that day, one of our hosts, our helpers, Darwin, where he accepted Jesus at that service.
So in the first segment, you talked about some very touching stories, but what other stories do you have from it, and maybe some of them that touched your own lives?
I think some of it was just the connection we made as a group as well on our long bus rides to the different places we went. It brought us all closer together. Some of them were having difficult issues that they were dealing with, but we came together as a team. They still made the trip, and then learning to Google Translate is a great friend to help with Darwin, as he spoke no English, but we made such a connection with him, and just getting to know him and helping to show Christ Christ is like and what he has done for us, and just how it brought him closer to Christ. And when he accepted Jesus in his life, just being open and accepting of each other. It's just made us a tighter group, and I look forward to doing more trips with these women.
How did the translate and software work?
We would type in what we wanted to say and then just have it translate to Spanish. He would read it, and then he would type in what he wanted to say in Spanish, and we translate it to English so we could communicate back and forth.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I've never thought about that.
It's real easy.
Yeah.
I'm very, even though we're doing this via Zoom, and I make a living with my computer, I'm actually not very technologically inclined. So all this new technology actually thrills me. So, how do you arrange this in advance? Do you work, like, you're from the Morgan Church, but do you have another church that you have for a base of operations in Guatemala?
Yes, we do have, as Tammy was saying, a missionary team, husband and wife, who they're missionaries. That's what they do all year long. And they prepare, like when we are going to go, we let them know, okay, we will be there from July 25th to August 3rd or whatever, which is going to be the upcoming trip. And we say, we would love to just help. We can, what are the things that we can do? And for example, this time men are coming in the team, so we will be able to build the house for the family. But we still will do all other things like doing dental education and bringing actually a couple of local dentists here in the area donated all the toothpaste, toothbrushes, and fluoride for more than 100 children or 200. I don't remember how much we brought, but they donated that. Dr. Dallin and Dr. Brandon. Vanessa, thank you. So the two of them between the two of them donated all that we needed. So so they prepared the way. Go ahead, Jeanette.
So in answer to Scott's question, which you just said, the missionary couple that is over there, Ingrid and Rodrigo, they knew we were coming, and so they went into the villages, introduced themselves, and asked them if we as a team could come into the villages. So everything that we did over there, they set up ahead of time for us.
Did you, I know in the previous show you mentioned it's not always the particularly safest country. Did you have any issues? Did you ever have any fear, or was it?
Not at all.
No.
They knew the safe places to go, and that's where they kept us.
Yeah.
So, so you've mentioned you broached the subject of the upcoming mission, and where will that be to?
So we have two upcoming mission trips. One will be to Guatemala again, and we will go to the same place, but different communities. And we will go also, another mission trip we will do is to Nairobi in Kenya. And over there we'll be to an orphanage as well, and some of the schools around the area that we will be visiting and supporting. And so what was the next thing?
I just want to know where we were going and what we would be doing.
Yes, so we will be going again to Guatemala, but different communities this time. Yes.
So is there anything that the community can do to help you with the upcoming mission? Do you take donations? Do you know?
Yes, so when we buy the tickets, we buy them as mission, we're going on a mission trip. So normally we get the airline to donate, like we can take 3 luggages free. So we bring our own personal things and a little carry-on or backpack, and all our luggages are donations for them.
Right.
So yes, so we will love to have donations of vitamins is a big thing, because children and pregnant women, they don't have all the good food that they
Proper
need to proper nutrition to grow. And so vitamins is so important. So vitamins and like we would like to do the dental kit again. So if we can have toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, like
Body and soap.
body soap,
Bar soap.
bar soap, clothing, not too big of, mostly the people are shorter than most American people. So, medium or small sizes, children clothing that is, we take so much because it's so needed.
And any financial donations, because we purchase our tickets and where we're gonna stay, our food for the week.
But also when we are there, we buy things that we cannot bring
food.
from here, like the food that we give to them, we buy it all there. So we need to bring enough money for that. So yes, all of that would be helpful.
How does one make donations to your group?
Mhm. So you can send it directly to the Morgan Church. You can make it payable to the Morgan Church and just say for missions. And we'll get there. But also you can find online the Morgan Church and you can make a donation online. There is a drop down and you just, so if you go to
Tithe.ly,
okay, you can just spell it.
TITHE.ly, and our church will show up, and there is a tab under there for missions if they want to donate online.
Mhm.
And what is the church's address?
14 Midhill,
14 Mead Hill,
Morgan, Vermont.
in Morgan,
Morgan, Vermont,
853.
05853. And probably, I mean,
And we also have, if somebody needed to contact the team, we have a Morgan, they can reach from the Morgan Church Facebook page. They could contact any of the members on the mission team.
Mhm.
And also on February 4th, we're having a chicken and biscuit dinner to raise funds.
Right, so all throughout the year, we are doing fundraising activities.
Before we started the show, you mentioned another person who is an important part of this group who couldn't be here today.
Yes, and I'm very sad that Deanna Keenan is not here. She is the chairperson of the missions team, and she is amazing. Her heart is to help, whether it's here in the United States, in our town in Morgan, and the county, or farther away. That is her heart. So she is very instrumental in supporting and now this team that you see here has also, we are all so grateful that she has kind of pushed us to do it. As I was saying in the previous talk, that I said, I'm not doing a trip ourselves, but she's somebody who's like, we just have to do it. There is so many people want to go, we gotta go. And then we have so many amazing ladies here that are wonderful, have the skills of organization, and they put it together. Wendy takes care of the tickets, and the other one takes care of, everybody has a part in it, and it's very smooth. We all do our part. When we do fundraising activities, we all have a part, and we just have about one activity per month or so.
Now, you're married to the minister of the church, Pastor DeSena.
Right.
I would assume he and the rest of the congregation, or some of the congregation, well, I don't know if Pastor DeSena goes or not, but even those who don't go probably help out in different ways. Is that correct?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. I have no idea how we didn't mention that before. we could not do it. We could not do it at all if it wasn't for the whole congregation. And I say this all the time, we say it all the time. We are the bodies that go, but they are the ones who send us. They are the ones who help us in every way. It is, I got goosebumps right now talking about it, because it's very amazing how each person, everybody there supports everything. And so they help us with donations, and they help us to do activities, and they,
Yes, they're-
like I said, we are the bodies that go, but it's as if we are all going, because
Mhm.
everybody is involved. Mike has twice tried to go with us. He has gone on mission trip before, like we have gone together. But one time is when he just got diagnosed with cancer, so he had to stay for his treatment. And the next time, COVID. So we had to cancel that trip. So that's the 1 year we didn't go either. So yeah, twice he's been ready with the tickets and all, and can go.
So any more stories the others of you would like to share, whether the past trip or the upcoming? Well, I guess the question would be, is how many of you are going on the next trip? Are you all?
I'd just like to share something real quick because I will have to leave, but I do plan on going on this next trip. One thing that I think is really important, and it was heavy on my heart when we came back, was the HIV hospital, or the children are there. They do not have family. Their care providers are their family. So it was a passion of mine to bring each of these children a teddy bear with an embroidered monogram on the front of it for them, so they had their own little friend to carry with them. I really want to say thank you to, I opened it up and made sort of a sponsorship so people could sponsor a bear to go to a child. And we are 3 bears away from having our complete bears. And I just want to say, I appreciate everyone who has sponsored a bear. And it hasn't just been our church people. Some of my friends, some of Tamara's coworkers, some of all of our connections in the community have made that happen. And it's a big thing for me. It seems like it's a really small thing to take teddy bear, but for these kids, it's going to be their best friend. Somebody they tell their secrets to and have hugs in the middle of the night when they're sad. And it's little things like that that make big differences. So I really want to thank our community, not just our congregation, that do support us in this. It's important. It takes a village. And I'm grateful for everybody.
Mhm.
That's a good point that you brought up, that that it's not just your congregation, but it's the community.
Could I have Wendy share another story before she leaves? Wendy, will you share your story about the darkness and the light in that home that we went into, wanting the light and wanting to bring lights?
I didn't want to cry on.
It's
Too
a
bad.
story.
So we visited a house, and the house is another thing that's heavy on my heart that we need to do. The homes there are put together. They're little yurts. They're what people can stack onto their metal posts, 2x4. They have no windows. Some of them have a door that's a piece of tin that slides over, or some of them have a door or whatever. When I came back, I fed my chickens the very first day, and I'm like, my chickens live in a palace. Oh, we visited the villages, and we went in and we were praying with one family. And I'm standing there. They invite you into your home like, they just want you there. You're so welcome. Their floors are dirt. They have very little furniture. There's no light in their house. So the gentleman comes in, the whole family comes in to pray with us, and he shuts the door. And it just got so dark. And the only light that shone through in the whole house were from the holes in the tin. And I left there with that. It just would not leave me. And I kept saying to different people, and I talked to Jeanette a lot about it, and she's like, you just have to pray on it, and you know, that God will give you the answers. And then, you know, that family was so happy to have us there. They accepted Jesus. They started, you know, like they had hope and light. And we, for me, that was like, we are their light. We were their light, and they were our light. And it's still something very touching to me. I have a house that's full of windows. I had to change places 5 times today to get, you know, to not be washed out from all the light that comes into my house. I can't imagine living in a place that has no windows. But yes, I mean, if anything, that lesson for me was that Jesus is the light. And
Thank you.
I'd like to share one more story. I remember before we left talking to someone from our church that wasn't going on this particular mission team. She goes on another team. And I remember her saying, like, I'm so looking forward to seeing how God will use us to bring, you know, to serve other people over there. Like, I'm so looking forward to how he'll do that. And I remember her saying to me, you certainly will, but you will be amazed how he will bring your group really close together to each other in a way that you'll never, like, you can't put into words. And that was so true for me. This group of women was such a beautiful group. We laughed, we cried, we prayed, we had devotion every single night. We had meals together. Everybody had their piece. Those long trips in the van where some people were sick, and just trying to love on them and support them and be there. And again, Darwin, who happened to be on one of our very longest trips in the van with us, to experience us, just we common people, just wanting to serve the Lord. And he came to accept Jesus. Like, God used this group not only to serve them, but to serve what we needed as well. It was such a beautiful experience.
Who else went on this mission who couldn't be here today?
Barbara Ladaga and Diana Keenan and Isabella Di Sena.
Right. And do you think they would speak the same way as you speak about this trip?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you get back from one of these missions, do you have something at the church where you invite people to hear your stories?
Yes, every time we come back, we have a special time. We say Saturday night, this time, and all we do is do a presentation. Everybody shares their experiences and with pictures and videos and whatever we have to convey the message, even though pictures or videos, nothing really comes close to really saying what happened in their hearts and in our hearts. Is like Jeanette was saying, every single day we get together in the morning, we pray together, and we ask God to bless whatever we will do and the hearts that we will touch. And it's amazing to see God at work.
You know, you folks have talked about all you do for the people there, but what has going there and serving the people done for you?
It opens your heart more. There is to see what we take so much for granted here, and just being over there, it's like I've said before, it's like, I'm not going to complain about a squeaky floor or some stupid window that won't open right, when these people barely have a floor or a window to open. But just the way they greet you, I mean, they let you in their homes, and they've got these huge smiles, and they're so absolutely grateful for even just you saying hello. It's just, it just fills your heart with so much love. Just It's just inexplainable. I can't, yeah.
Yeah.
So people talk about the Northeast Kingdom as being a poor place. Do you come back feeling really rich?
Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
I will try to quickly describe this. Gonna try to not cry.
You got it.
There is this home we went to visit. It was a single mom with a teenage daughter that she looked like she was 10 years old. And she had a baby. Her daughter was had been raped, and that's how she had the baby. And her house was there was nothing inside but a mattress on the floor. And the walls, they were just, as I said before, pieces of cardboard and plastic and pieces of tin. And the wind would blow and take pieces away. I remember one piece fell on one of our teams in the head and did a cut, because they are just sustained with pieces of bricks or a rock or anything that will hold them up. And I feel so sad because there is a toddler, a baby that should be in the floor, but the floor, there was no floor there. It was all like rocks crushed, and you couldn't put a baby down. And there was nothing for that baby there. I looked at my purse, whatever I had left for money, and somebody in the car, all of the rest of the team saw me doing that, and I was just frantically trying to get anything I had, and everybody pulled whatever they had in their money, and we brought it back to her, and she was so grateful. She couldn't talk. She was just crying and said, I will never see this amount of money together. Never. Because this is all she made a week, was just making tortillas to sell. And she can barely just have food for them to eat. I think of this family all the time, and there is so many of them there that live like that. So when we come back here and you try to help somebody and you don't give the kind of food that they want, not if they like it or not, but what they want. Sometimes I just think about that, how those families there are so extremely grateful for what we can bring them. So yeah, do we come back here and say we are millionaires? That's how you feel.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, we only have about 2 more minutes, and so I will let you as a group decide how you'd like to use that.
Well, I just think 1 second. If you are watching and you would like to experience that, you should join a team to go on a mission trip. Really, whatever we have said is nothing compared to you going. If you are not able to go, because sometimes we just can't, and you would like to be part of helping somebody there, like the ones that we have talked about, an orphanage or an elderly home, or just families in the community, please reach out. We will be very happy to use whatever resources you give us to bless many other people. Thank you.
Any
And
other?
I want to thank everyone who have supported the trips that myself and others have gone on and future trips that will happen. I'm so grateful for their work because we could never do it without all of you. And thank you, Scott, for having us here today.
You're welcome. Any more final words?
There is one of the orphanages that we visited over in Mohas did take us a long time to get there. However, they run active sponsorships for the children that are there. So if you can't attend a missions trip, which I really hope you can someday, you could sponsor someone.
Right.
Mhm.
It's huge.
Unless there's any other final words, I will wrap up by saying I think it's amazing what you folks are doing, and I know the people, they really appreciate you, and I hope there's more people like you or who are willing to go into, well, probably uncomfortable situations. And I'd like to thank you all for all you're doing because, you know, I know we Americans like to talk about how tough we have it, especially us in the Northeast Kingdom. But in reality, we have it pretty good compared to some other people in the world. And I know you know firsthand. And if you'd like to come back on the show before you head back out on your next mission, just let me know and we'll make it happen if you need anything. And yeah, we'll make it happen. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.